or two. You get drafted first overall. Unfortunately, your college team gets knocked out. Now you sign your contract. What's it been like for you?
It's been up and down emotions. The draft week was awesome because we just came off a regional win in Raleigh, North Carolina. And then we got back actually that day that we traveled back home was draft day. And so my team and my family and friends got to be back in Auburn for that. So we got to all share that moment, which was great. And then the next day you woke up and then you tried your best to forget about it and prepare for the Super Regional that next weekend in Gainesville. And so we went down there, had a great series. We came up on the short end, and our season was over, which was really tough because, it's always tough when you have a really good group and you got to say goodbye to everybody. But and so after that, I took some time off. I just went to the lake and hung out for a few days, which was much needed, to just relax a little bit. And then I got back and started training for the last week. I've been throwing and working out, just preparing for whatever the Tigers want me to do. And then we flew up here on Sunday, and we've had a great time up here. Yesterday, like you said, was an amazing day for me, my family, my agent, the organization. It was just a great day all around.
Usually the top pick in the draft, you get an inkling like either a day before or whatever. From what I hear, you had no idea until they actually announced the selection. They didn't call you first, say, hey, be cool, we're going to take you.
Yeah, no, I didn't know until you all knew. And so that's kind of the way they wanted to do it. And I was okay with that because it makes the moment more special.
We're talking to Casey Mize here on the Troy Laser Hotline, the Auburn pitcher, now a member of the Detroit Tigers organization. Being taken number one overall, Casey, I'm wondering how that feels and what kind of pressure it is. And do you want that pressure? I mean, let's face it, you're taking number one overall. I think Tiger fans aren't just expecting to see one day Casey Mize maybe being the fourth starter in the rotation. You're expected to be top of the rotation, starting game one in a playoff series, all that goes along with it. What's that like for you?
Well, I think it's positive, and I think there are some pressures, but I think it's more of a positive thing. And I think it's the expectations are good. I want people to expect highly of me, and I think that motivates me, and I think that allows me to go out there and get better every day. And so for the Tigers to take me with the first selection, it means a lot, for them to consider me the best player in this year's draft and, take me with that selection.
Justin Verlander, obviously one of the great Tiger pitchers of all time, and Stoney and I had a chance to interview him over the years. And he's a very confident guy. And I remember one time I asked him, what's your goals in baseball? This is earlier on. Do you want to win a Cy Young Award, World Series? And he said, I don't really make personal goals other than I want to be in the Hall of Fame. And I was taken aback. I was like, wow, now it looks like he is going to go to the Hall of Fame. But I'm not going to ask you that question. But do you understand and appreciate that confidence that a pitcher has at his level and the level you're at right now?
Yeah, you got to have that confidence. I mean, you're facing very, very talented players day in and day out. They've all been drafted, and then they're all really, really good players. So you have to be confident in that ability that you have, and you have to be confident in the preparation and the routine that you followed to prepare for each start. And I think when you get out on the mound, that confidence has to carry over. And I think that's just the best way for pitchers like Verlander, myself, people who compete at a high level to be able to go out there and execute their best is to be very confident in their ability.
Last year, the Tigers selected, as you know, Alex Faedo from Florida as their number one draft choice. They shut him down after this college season. They're not doing that with you. Is there any reason why?
I hadn't thrown as many innings as Alex did last year, and I don't know. I think they just kind of want to get me in the system and just see how it works a little bit. I don't think it's going to be too much throwing this summer, but I think they just want me to make some starts and just kind of get a feel for it, and so that'll help prepare me for next season.
Now, a lot of the fans here, because things aren't great right now, have these like dreaming of Faedo, Burrows, Manning, Funkhauser, and of course Mize as the arms, the saviors of the franchise. Do you think about that at all?
Yeah, I actually have, and I'm excited to join that core group of arms, because they're all very talented and they've been in the system for a couple years or a year. And so I'm looking forward to whenever I get to meet them and kind of pick their brain about some things. And I think that's just part of growth. And I think I'm going to be able to go to them and ask questions and just see how everything works and, pick their brain a little bit. And then I think it'll help us all out in the long run.
Kind of a weird question here, Casey. Have you ever met Todd Jones, the former Tiger closer?
I've never met him personally, but my high school team, he actually spoke to our high school team. So he lives very near where I'm from. And so, we had all the teams in the county come to like this convention center, and he spoke to us all. So I've never met him personally, but I've heard him speak.
Yeah, because the only reason I asked, because I remember when he was here and I found out he'd grown up in Alabama, I said, "Oh, Todd, you must be an Alabama fan." He like bit my head out. No, Auburn. And I want to clarify that with you, because as a kid who grew up in Alabama, and I'm reading some of the stuff about you, you grew up straight Auburn. So you've been Auburn your entire life, right?
Yep, my entire life. So going to Auburn was a dream. And so it all worked out perfect, really.
Do you have any relationship with Kerryon Johnson, the Lions selection as a running back from the War Eagles?
Yeah, I mean, I see him around on campus a lot, and we've spoken a few times. We're not like the best of buddies just because we haven't really crossed paths that much, but yeah, we've talked to each other a few times. He seems like a really cool guy. I mean, I know he's a great running back, and so the Lions got a good one. I'm looking forward to watching him play this year.
All right, here's some of the numbers on Casey Mize. For his career at Auburn, 324 strikeouts, 45 walks. That's a pretty good ratio, Stoney.
Yeah,
How about
like
this
that
ratio for his junior year? 156 strikeouts, 16 walks. So, Casey, is that just you loathe the walk and don't throw balls and you just throw strikes, or is that tell us about that?
Yeah, so Coach Thompson is our head coach at Auburn, and he kind of said something that stuck with me, and he said somebody wins every pitch. And, that confidence you talked about and the competitiveness, it kind of just goes along with that, where I'm confident enough to think that I'm going to win every pitch. And so if I think that, then I'm trying to win pitches, you need to throw strikes. And so I think that's where that kind of started is, I just want to pound the strike zone, and I'm confident enough in my stuff that it's going to play in the zone. And that allows me to really just attack hitters and, say I'm not going to give you out freebies. If you're going to get on base, you're going to get a hit. And so I think I don't know, I've had experiences where a lot of bad things happen where you walk players. And so I think just pounding the strike zone, making the hitter earn it is kind of my philosophy. And I don't know, I just like to throw a lot of strikes.
Maybe you could come speak to my kids' Little League team. They could use some help with that. And what now for you? What do you feel like you need to work on? Because, reading about your bio, you already have 4 pitches, fastball, cutter, slider, and a split finger change. Do you need to, I don't know, add a curveball, or you just need to refine those pitches? What do you want to work on to improve?
Yeah, there's always going to be stuff to improve on. I definitely need to refine a couple pitches. The slider needs work, and I think it's kind of like a get-me-over pitch early in the count. So I'd like for that to become as good as a pitch as the others. Command can always improve. We just talked about the low amount of walks, but it's a different level here. It's a smaller strike zone. You're going to have to command the ball a lot better than I did in college. And so I'm going to have to refine in a lot of ways. I'm going to have to be more conditioned for a longer season, or I'm going to have to adjust to a 5-day rotation instead of a 7-day rotation. So there's going to be some adjustments that I'm going to have to go through. And I'm hoping I can adjust to that quickly.
You're looking forward to pitching against wood bats instead of the stuff that you've probably pitched against your whole life?
Yes, I am. There's some hits you give up with aluminum that just really make you scratch your head that are just like, come on. Like, I'm looking forward to some wood bats that would have broken on that pitch and maybe gotten out. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It'll be pretty cool.
Now, I know you grew up in the South. We here in Detroit revere the Old English D. They love the uniform here. What was it like putting it on for the first time? And I don't know, as a baseball fan growing up, did you ever think the Tiger hat was kind of a cool hat?
Yeah, it really was. We were talking about that yesterday. It just seems very classic and traditional, but it's really cool. Like, me and my agent were talking about, like, that's one of his. He's around baseball a lot, obviously, and he said, the jersey you have on is one of the coolest that I've seen around the league. And I agree. It was really cool. Just the English D was, like, really awesome to finally put on and make it official.
Now, your signing bonus is $7.5 million. Did they give you a check for that? Does that go
a big
direct?
One, like at the golf tournaments.
Yeah. Is there a direct deposit? How does that work? I've never seen a check like that.
Yes, you
I
have, Stoney.
don't know.
Yeah.
I do not know. That's for my agent to figure out.
What's your first purchase? Anything luxury item that you always want to see? Well, I can definitely afford that now.
I don't know. I'm going to get a new vehicle. I'm not big into, I got to get a Mercedes or anything like that. I'm probably going to get like mid-size SUV, like a 4Runner or something, just because I need one. My truck, the AC doesn't work, the radio doesn't work, couple blinkers don't work. I got a hole in my exhaust pipe. I'm going to need a new vehicle if I'm going to be doing a lot of traveling. So that might be something in the near future
Well, I don't know
that I purchase.
I don't know if you heard, they actually make some pretty good cars in this.
Yeah, I was
these
going to say,
parts.
the auto dealers right now are lining up to call your agent. Casey Mize here for Ford. All right. Hey, Casey, thanks so much for the time. Good luck. Congratulations. And hopefully we'll be seeing you back here in Detroit very soon.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.